Hi everyone, my name's Ninja Nerd 3510. Middle name is Adam. I've been a member of YouTube for a long time, and I've been watching a lot of great videos from a lot of great channels from a lot of great people. And I actually want to do my own channel. This video is just really an introduction of who I am, what I like, and who my biggest influences are that I want to get started with my channel, but I haven't really gotten the time to do it. I've just been working a lot lately. I deal with a lot of random bullshit and all that, but hey, what can you do? What can you do? So basically, what about me? I'm 25 years old, and as you can see behind me, so many different fandoms, so little time in my lifespan. That blah 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 whatever about that. Basically, yeah, as I said, 25 years old. I love anime, love manga, I love comic books, sci-fi, horror, pretty much what you can think of. Just ask me a question and I will answer it. But I think when it comes to some of those fandoms, my top favorite when it comes to sci-fi is definitely Star Wars. I'm a die-hard Star Wars fan. I love everything about it, what it is, and it helps me. It helped me grow as a person. When I was a kid, I grew up watching the originals on VHS, and I grew up with the prequels, and my opinion about those, 2 strikes and a home run, episodes 1, 2, and 3. And seeing finally The Last Jedi, the movie was awesome. I don't care what other people said, I personally enjoyed it. And other stuff about that, anime and manga, my all-time most favorite anime of all time, one I can watch on repeated viewings, has to be Death Note. Death Note, in my opinion, is the best anime I ever seen in ever. And I pretty much have seen pretty much anything that it has. From the manga, I've read front way and back ways, 9 Ways to Sunday. I've seen the anime multiple times. I've seen all 3 of the live-action films, Death Note, The Last Name, and L Changed the World. I've even seen the Japanese drama that was on Crunchyroll, and I admit that one was pretty good, and even though a lot of things were changed around, but all in all, it was entertaining. And yes, I sat through the 2017 Death Note Netflix film, and I can see why people hated it, and yeah, but for what it was actually entertaining in certain spots. Yeah, there are a lot of things I can nitpick about with that, but that's a story for another day if I wanted to go into full detail about that. But like I said, that's a story for another day. And I'm a huge gamer. I love anything video games. I own a PS4 and multitude of PS4 games. I've gamed a lot since I was a kid. I grew up with the Sega Genesis. I've had the PlayStation, the Nintendo 64. I've had the SNES for a little bit, but very small memories with that. I grew up with the PS2 for a good solid 13 years with that console. It has to be the best console of all time. I've dabbled smallly with the first Xbox. Mostly I played with friends and all that. Nintendo, have a long history. As I said, I had the SNES, I had the N64, I had a Game Boy Advance for a good long time until somebody stole it, broke into our apartment and stole it. And I never got the chance to own a GameCube. However, I did play with friends with that. Fox McCloud, best Nintendo character of all time, in my opinion. I grew up with The Legend of Zelda. I dabbled a little bit with Metroid. And I owned a Wii for a little while, Super Smash Brothers. Best game Nintendo has. And also, when it came to Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask was awesome. The first time I experienced gamer's rage. That fucking time limit. Anyway, yeah, pretty much like I said, this is an introduction video just to get to know me a little bit. If you have any questions, you can message me, leave a comment, and I could probably answer them. Not immediately, but I can. And just to get my channel started. And probably wondering who I'm influenced by, but there's a lot that I've seen over the years on YouTube, and I've seen a lot of great reviewers. Channel-wise, my most favorites are Cinemassacre. I love what they do. Cinemassacre, probably one of the best review sites I've ever been on. James and Mike, big shout out to those guys. Those guys are just awesome people. Big nerds, and I'm so happy. And over the years, I've been following James and all his stuff with the Angry Video Game Nerd. That show is still awesome. And I'm really happy for him. Like, he's diving in as a director. I would love to see anything he directs, because he knows the do's and don'ts when it comes to films. And it's really cool that he has a family. I'm really proud of that. He's just a really cool guy. And big shout out to James Rolfe of Cinemassacre. I want to see you come to Cincinnati, the Cincinnati Comic Expo. I would love to meet you, man. You're just an awesome, awesome nerd. No pun intended with the Angry Video Game Nerd. Another big influence that I've had, definitely Channel Awesome, the Nostalgia Critic, Doug Walker. I haven't seen a lot of their videos when I got into YouTube and everything. I didn't really know much about them until I started watching them. And really, one video that really was really cool that those guys did, the Disney Afternoon review. That was just awesome. Just seeing all those shows again reviewed by Doug and his friends. That was just awesome. And, of course, who didn't love fucking Darkwing Duck? That show was awesome. Yeah, and a big shout-out to Nostalgia Critic Doug Walker. He's just an awesome guy. I recently watched his Mars Attacks review. Yeah, I can see why some people seem to forget that, and that was actually made by Tim Burton. But in all fairness, that movie was supposed to be a spoof of a spoof of a spoof. Basically, it was supposed to make fun of all the B-movie stuff, and Tim Burton knew a lot of these people, like, you know what, just for cash grabs, let's just throw all these people in here just so we can kill them off randomly. Tim Burton is, and if I'm using the term correctly, an odd individual. No disrespect anyway. Tim Burton is a really great guy. It's just the way he uses them. That's all. They were just like cannon fodder just to kill in this film. Other great influences that I had, I mentioned Cinemassacre, Channel Awesome, definitely Markiplier. That guy is just awesome. I didn't know much about Markiplier until a couple of my friends recommended I watch his videos. I love his gaming videos. Whenever I've had a bad day, I watch Markiplier and I forget why I was even mad in the first place. That guy is awesome. I think that voice that he does, that his own voice, I keep thinking that's fake, but wait, that's his natural voice. I loved his Five Nights at Freddy's reviews. I wasn't too big into that game, but I loved his reactions to it. Oh my god, I love his reactions. It's hilarious. A big shout out to Markiplier. You are an awesome guy. And I actually heard you live in Ohio. One of my friends actually stumbled across you at the Newport Aquarium once, and just by complete chance. He didn't even know you were there. Anyway, a big shout out to Markiplier. You are an awesome guy. Keep doing what you do. You will always be a great guy. And another good influence, I really like the channel Anime America. They do some really great stuff. I love their videos. They're insane and mania. I can't. I just crack up. One that I recently watched, like, I know it was a lot of it chopped up stuff and everything, but it made me laugh. Big shout out to Robin and all of her friends at Anime America. Anime America, I love you guys. You guys are just a great channel. And I loved your reviews. I think two of my most favorite ones that you guys did had to be the top 10 most catchiest anime songs ever. And I love, as I said, I love anime in general. And pretty much any kind of music that comes out. A lot of great songs. And the top 10 worst cliches in anime. You nailed it on the head with the #1 spot, the perceived pervert. I cannot stand that cliche. That cliche has to be the most played out thing in anime history. Like, some guy, like, main character wise, like, it's just a guy who's down on his luck and he gets just caught in these situations and they just label him to be a pervert. I hate that. Like, give the guy a chance to explain himself here. Don't just knock him senseless. If I was me, I would just screamed at the person trying to attack at me like, I'm not a fucking pervert. Get off my back. But that's just me. I just wanted to throw that out. So, and as I said, all you guys, big influence. I love your channel. Keep up all the great work. Another, another good influence that I love, or I have another big influence. I love the guys at WatchMojo.com. They do some really cool top 10s, and it was really cool that I saw top 10 death battles, and that's another influence I'll mention soon. So, guys at Watch Mojo, I really love your channel. all the videos that you guys do. You guys don't seem to run out of ideas. You're a hell of a lot better than Hollywood. Hollywood's out of ideas pretty much. But you guys, you'll never run out of ideas as long as somebody gives it to you. So keep up all that great work that you do. And mentioning Death Battle, aka the channel that I love the most, Screw Attack. I actually stumbled upon Death Battle by complete accident once. Like, I was just browsing through videos and I saw this on my recommendation list. Kratos versus Spawn. I thought it was just a fan-made fight, but they went into full-on info about them. I'm like, huh, this was kind of like Deadliest Warrior. So I'm a big Death Battle fan. To those of you who haven't seen Death Battle, give it a watch. I mean, they just finished Season 4, and it was a huge fight between Virgil of Devil May Cry and Sephiroth, Final Fantasy. And a big shout out to Ben Singer and Chad James at Screw Attack. You guys are awesome, and I love that you finally did Dante versus Bayonetta. I know that was pretty late in the game and everything, but I've been suggesting that fight for a while now, and I'm so happy you guys finally made it to the light of day. And my other recommendations, I was on the list for Gar versus Toph, Ratchet and Clank versus Jak and Daxter. If there's a few I'm forgetting, you probably made them anyway. So yeah, big shout out. You guys are a major influence to me to starting my own channel, and anyone that I've mentioned so far, a big influence of starting my own channel. Keep up all the great work you do. And I have two more that I'm going to mention, also from the cast and crew from Bat in the Sun and Aaron Shernka. Another video that I stumbled upon when I was just browsing one day, Superpower Beatdown. That show is just awesome. Like, I was just browsing through, then I just stumbled across the White Ranger versus Scorpion. Like, is this going to be like Death Battle? And I watched and I'm like, holy shit, it's Jason David Frank. He's playing the White Ranger. He's playing Scorpion, my most favorite Mortal Kombat character of all time, versus one of my most favorite Rangers of all time. You guys had me on the fence. I couldn't choose. But I'm geeking out about that again. But yeah, Superpower Beatdown, a great series. I can't wait for the next 2 episodes that you guys announced. Justice League versus Avengers and Deadpool versus Deathstroke. I'm super excited for that. I know you were probably teasing us with Joker and Harley Quinn versus Deadpool and Domino. And big shout out to Aaron Shirka. You are an amazing Joker. I saw your video of Joker versus Negan, and I was on the fence about that. Like, figuring Negan, like, some part of me likes The Walking Dead, but I know Joker don't go down so easy. And it was funny seeing Pennywise in that fight. Harley just took him out like, yeah, not today. So yeah, big shout out to the guys at Bat in the Sun and Aaron Shirka. You guys do awesome work. I can't wait to see what else you guys do. And I hope you guys come to the Cincinnati Comic Expo. I would just love to meet you. Excuse me. Anyway, as I said, big fan. Love your work. Huge influence. Keep up all the good work you do. And one other influence I'll shout out to, the crew at Rooster Teeth. When I first saw Red vs. Blue so long ago, I thought, like, holy shit, this is hilarious. And one day I was browsing through my Netflix account and I saw Red vs. Blue. Like, holy crap, this is on Netflix? This is awesome. Like, 13th season, I didn't realize you guys were still going with that. And I was able to catch up completely watching the first 13 seasons of Red vs. Blue. Season 14, The Brick Gulch Chronicles, made me crack up the most. That was awesome. And to see the voice actress behind Carolina, that was even better. And a big shout out to your death battle between Carolina and the Meta. That fight was just badass. As I said, big influence. I love your videos, and also a big fan of Ruby. I didn't really know much about that show, so a lot of my friends turned me on to it, and I really enjoyed it. Ruby's an awesome show. And big mention to the late great Monty Ohm. He went away too suddenly. It just wasn't fair. So yeah, in remembrance to Monty Ohm, he was a great man. And to all you guys at roosterteeth.com, you guys do awesome work. A big influence to me about making some of my own stuff. And a big shout out to at Rooster Teeth Joel Heyman, the voice of Caboose. Caboose will always be my favorite when it comes to Red versus Blue. I don't care who it was. Like, all these characters, they're hilarious. Sarge is hilarious, Griff, Simmons, Church, Tucker. But it's Caboose. Caboose is the best character in Red versus Blue. And I hope to get that plushie you guys just put on your store. Anyway, those are my top big influences when it comes to starting my own channel. It's going to take a while. Oh, and before I forget, I'm actually doing a group of group of my friends for a podcast. We're calling ourselves the Nostalgic Mofos. That just came out to one of us, like, okay, let's just go with that. It's a podcast we're trying to get started, and soon, I don't know how soon, possibly our own website. So you'll get like more in-depth about us. Pretty much Nostalgic Mofos. We're all different. We're 80s and 90s babies. We just reminisce on shit that we thought was cool. Give our own depth on movie reviews, stuff that's come out, TV shows, video games, any stuff like that. So it's a podcast we're trying to get off the ground. So I'm really excited for that. As for my channel that I'm trying to start, I'm not really sure what to call it yet. I know I want to be a reviewer, but I just don't want to be like that average reviewer. Like, I want to give my own in-depth detail about some of the stuff, my most favorite films, favorite video games, favorite shows, comic books, manga, anything like that. So it's just a lot of hassle to trying to get it started, how to do it, the editing process, and blah, 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 all that stuff. Excuse me, it came out the wrong throat. So, yeah, basically, intro. That's who I am. My name's Adam, 25, self-proclaimed American otaku. So if you have any questions about it, I will be happy to answer them. Don't flame me and troll me or anything like that, because I'm not going to respond to that or anything like that. And a big shout out to my loving girlfriend and YouTube channeler, Cynthia, who has her own channel, Cosplay Butterfly. I recommend you guys watch some of her stuff. She does some great in-depth review. She has some great tours of some of the cons she's went to. We went to the Cincinnati Comic Expo a few months back. If you anywhere were there, you probably saw me as Hufflepuff Deadpool. Something of my own creation. Like, you know what? Since J.K. Rowling admitted that Deadpool is a Hufflepuff, I'll just go with that. There's a video of day 3. I'm just in full Deadpool mode. She didn't really film a lot of it, but it's just me being as Deadpool. And like the hobbies that I mentioned, I know I mentioned that I love video games, and I actually really want to go into voice acting. I really enjoy voice acting when it came to anime and animation. I love the characters and some of the voices that come out of these characters. I hope to be an aspiring voice actor like some of the greats over from like Funimation, Viz Media. I know some people prefer the Japanese dub over to the English dub, but me personally, I enjoy both. I enjoy both of them because it's nice to hear what kind of voice you're going to hear out of these characters. Sometimes it comes out great, and sometimes not so much. It all depends on the amount of work that you put into them. And yeah, so big hobbies. That's basically all you need to know. And in case you're distracted, lo and behold, this is my man cave. You probably see a few goodies on the wall. My Death Note wall scroll, probably the best thing. Probably see one of my Keyblades, my Ravenclaw. Yeah, small room, big dreams. So I'm really glad to have made this video finally, and to all of you who I'm gonna meet soon, and to all who I'm gonna respond to, I'm really glad I made this video just to get to know me, and I can't wait to hear. So leave a comment down. I'd like to hear any feedback to start my own channel, what to call it, and what kind of reviews I'm gonna do. So thank you all so personally for hearing this out, and I'll see you next time.